Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Majesty video, and today we are discussing a deck that I absolutely fell in love with just at the tail end of V, and just when we found out that V was no longer being competitively supported. So just as a goodbye to V, I thought I'd do something quite nice and show you my favorite deck of V I think I've ever played so far. It's really fun, it can swing for so much pressure, and I think it's quite unique compared to the other Maelstrom builds that you will find online. Now, let's just show you the build. I'm going 3 Bluestorm Maelstrom simply because I think 3 is a sweet number for the amount of Maelstroms that we're playing in this deck. I think 3 is perfect because you want this really to be your first ride. I think it's really amazing with pressure, even if you don't get an extra drive of the Press Stream Dragon. I think this is a really, really strong card, and I think people underestimate just how strong it actually is. So I'd recommend 3, you can run even 4, but I wouldn't recommend less than 3. Just Counterblast 1 plus 3k to your entire front row, plus any excel markers, and you know, all you have to do is an on hit on your 3rd or 4th attack, discard 2, and you get to restand. And there are cards in this deck that can absolutely get you that on hit, no problem. And now we're running 2 Maelstrom Reverses because I think Maelstrom Reverse is quite an underrated card. It gets you triple drive and it gets you a crit. There's that on hit pressure where if it doesn't hit, for every one of your locked rear guards, your opponent gets to discard a card, discard that many cards, and retire that many cards on the board. So I think it's a really nice thing like that, because Press Stream can give it quad drive, quintuple drive. I think it's just a really nice card, and it can get rid of some pressure on your opponent's board. And now, I'm running 2 Glory Maelstrom. Now, whenever I first read this card, whenever I first started using this card, I think I kind of played into the hype. I thought this card was a lot better than it was. When I realized whenever I was using it as my main finisher, whenever you Counterblast 1 and your front row or your opponent cannot intercept and they can only guard with 1 card in hand, they were only really using 1 card, especially against protect decks and like different stuff like that. If you're playing against different things, normally they're only ever going to use 1 card, and they can PG stuff, and they can normally guard what you have. If you have a Maelstrom on board, if you don't get lucky with triggers and you don't have the Press Stream, I think this card isn't as amazing. I think this is more high rolly than the Maelstrom, to be honest. I just think it's kind of overhyped. I think people should not be riding this on their first grade 3 turn. I think that's really, really moronic, to be really blunt about it. I just think that the Bluestorm Maelstrom is the way to go for your first turn on hit, and you can win on your first grade 3 turn, like absolutely, if you're swinging twice and you get that crit pressure or the front pressure. So you know, that is the grade 3 lineup so far, and you know, just obviously 4 Heal Guardians because these are the best thing that had probably been added in V, like just defensively, because it's just a fantastic card. In any format this is in, these are the best heal triggers you can use. Well, current formats. And now on to the grade 2s, we are running Drifting Flow Fencer. This is when placed on 7, search your deck for a Maelstrom, search top 7 for a Maelstrom, and then add it to your hand. This deck things like crazy, and on the 4th attack that it swings, it gains 15k. It's kind of like a Coral Assault from Maelstrom, just on number of attacks and stuff. It's a weaker Coral Assault, but I think it's actually a quite good card for Maelstrom because it thins the deck, it gets you your Maelstrom, it gets you your discards for your Press Stream and everything. And you know, you can get things back with the grade 1 that I'll be talking about later. But yes, 4 Drifting Flow Fencer because I just think the power that it gets, it's a 24k, and if you have V Maelstrom's Counterblast, it's 27, so that's just a really nice number to swing in with. Now, we are going with the Dual Staff of Emerald. 3 of these, simply because we want that on hit. Yes, it's a Counterblast, yes, it's pretty heavy for what it is, but if you have a Maelstrom Vanguard, it's a 10k intercept and it's a 14k base. It's a 14k swing, which is really, really nice. And again, if you counterblast using Maelstroms, it's 17, which is really, really nice if you're going on boost, and then if you're on XL2, then that's 23. So it's actually really, really nice. It gets to really, really big numbers, technically by itself, just with kind of everything around it. Then without triggers and boosts and everything, it gets to a pretty high number. I just think counterblast, it just gets you the on hit, really helps with Maelstrom. I run 3 because you really want that turn, really want that grade 3 turn on hit pressure quite a bit. Running kind of, so 2 cards that I think are very interesting is Terrific Coil Dragon, and we are running 2 V Tidal Assaults. Now the Tidal Assault is here simply because you can run 3 in 1, but I just think having a restander that's not really restricted to first turn, because Terrific Coil only stands on the first attack, and then that's it. Like, you can't, it's not like a repress strike or anything like that. And this is like, if you're minusing 5k and you get a trigger or you get something like that, at least it's still, you're still swinging for on pressure. Yes, it's a once per turn stand, but if you have 2 and you're able to afford the Soul Blast, then I think it's kind of a nice combination. You can run any combination you want, but I think having the V Tidal Assault is actually really, really nice. I think they work well together. I just think they're nice companions together. So what we can do here is, why is that like that? So, speaking of Repress Strike Dragon, we're running 2 Repress Strike because right fixes are really nice in this game. And the on swing, the on pressure for like a quad drive V Maelstrom is just really, really nice. If you swing with this last, I give it a crit front. Any amount of trigger pressure, you're swinging for a huge amount of damage. I think I got this up to like 54k at one point whenever I was swinging with it, like 3 crit at one point with the game. But yes, Repress Strike because we like getting cards we want. Running 2 because I think the other grade 2s in this deck are really important. They're really Maelstrom dependent, which I really, really think is important in a V Maelstrom deck because it gets so much support. You might as well use it. I think 2 Repress Strike is nice. Now, the card that kind of makes this whole thing really, really nice is a Press Stream Dragon. You counterblast 1, discard a Maelstrom. Your Maelstrom gains 10k and a drive, which is really, really nice. You can get a quad drive Maelstrom and you can go +6 off your drive checks because you're discarding 2 from the, well, +5 because you have to discard a Maelstrom, but yes, it's a really, really nice card. We're running 2 because just the rest of the grade 2, you don't really want to lose that consistency. 8k base is not great. If you're playing this in premium, I know this is a V thing, but if you're playing this in premium, you have a hard card and everything, it's actually really, really nice with Maelstrom. But we are talking about V. I just think Press Stream at 2. Everybody plays it 2. You could play it at 3, maybe give up one of the cards. I don't know what you would give up, but you could play it at 3, but I think 2 is actually a rather nice number. And finally, I believe for the grade 2s, we're just running one of these because it's just kind of nice. You get to draw a card or retire something. If you just look here, oh, let's just not lose focus. Let me just double check. Yes, during battle, this unit attacked. It's the 4th battle or turn or more against 10k. And when an attack hits a Vanguard, if it's 3rd attack or more, you can retire a unit. And if you retire a unit, draw a card. Which is very, very nice. And finally, we're on to the grade 1s, which we have 4 of the grade 1s, Blow Bubble Corporal. They're basically Wingle Braves, but for Maelstrom, which is actually really nice because you're getting, because if you have one in the back row, and one in the thing, you swing, that's a double on hit, so that's just really, really nice there. I just think it's kind of, I think the on hit pressure is really, really nice because you're searching for Maelstrom so much in this deck. It's just kind of, you can discard a Maelstrom if they know what you're doing, or if they don't know what they're doing, they'll just let it go, and then, I don't know. I don't know if they would just let it go or they kind of have to because they need the CB or anything, but they need stuff. I remember playing a game where the guy just would not let me on hit with these, and he lost all the cards in his hand, and it was a very intense game, but it was really, really fun. I think I ended up winning. I can't remember. But yes, and we are running, oh my god. Oh, Radiate Assault. Why am I forgetting cards' names during the video? Radiate Assault's really nice because it's Soul Blast 1, and the attack that this unit attacks or boosts, the on-hit effect will activate. And if you have a Maelstrom in your drop, put it in the bottom of the deck and draw a card. So it's really, really nice. It kind of recycles your Maelstroms back into the deck, if you want to call it for, if you want to search it for Drifting Flow or something. But just the on-hit pressure is really, really nice. That's why I run kind of 7 on-hits in this deck, just because the insurance for that is just really, really nice if you want the restand with the Maelstrom. And we're just running 2 Blue-Veiled Soldier Viragios because top 5 and 13k boost or attack. Since you'll have a lot of rested units whenever you're attacking and when you're extra Excel circles, is just very, very nice. And those are the grade 1s, and so we're also onto the triggers now, which we're running 6 fronts. I know that's kind of crazy, but I think 6 fronts. I thought 4 was too little, just by the amount that I kind of wanted to, just with the glory, or if you kind of want that on hit and you drive check fronts, the only way they're going to stop them half the time, say if you get 2 fronts off the minimum 2 fronts off your 8 drive checks, mind you, if you get the maximum effect of the Drifting Flow and the V Maelstrom. I just think front triggers are really nice, just because your whole front row, just a huge amount of power boost, and you're swinging so much for so much. They're either going to have to take it, or they're just going to have to use up their whole hand to guard. And we're running 4 crits, 2 vanilla crits, and 2 sentinel crits. I think the sentinel crits are nice, just because you kind of want hand in this because you're kind of discarding a lot for Maelstrom, and if you don't get the on hit, or if you don't get the +1 drive, then 2 cards out of your hand is actually a lot. So you're going hand neutral on the drive checks, but I think 30k in V is actually quite nice. And finally, we have 2 draw PGs, just because why not? It's always good to have that PG. And then finally, your grade 0, we have a Blow Bubble Draco Kid. So that is the deck, and that is the reasoning behind anything. So what I want you guys to do is, I just want to, actually before I say anything to that, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. The positive vibes from the last video was amazing. Thank you so much. It got way more views than I thought it was coming back. But anyway, guys, what I want you to do is I want you to say in the comments below if you agree with my list, if you would make changes, maybe your own list if you want to say anything like that. Maybe you have video ideas that you want me to do. I will be having another deck list with you by the end of the week, potentially. Maybe a D-Police one, because I'm getting one in the mail very soon. Guys, thank you so much for watching and the support. I really appreciate your viewing of my last video. Guys, again, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.